Welcome to my Diet Dankpods video. Alright, now listen, before I go on a bunch of opinionated rants and stuff like that about these headphones, I want to make a few disclaimers just to make sure you know that I'm opinionated. I'm not an audiophile. I have my phone, I have my computer, and well, that's about it. Half of the time I don't even use Spotify on this. I usually just boot up YouTube and I'm just like, alright, you know. I do not have very sophisticated audio equipment to compare these two. Most of my audio experience has been from these Razer Krakens that are held together with tape. Apple earbuds, of course, I'm pretty sure everyone's used those. However, most commonly, especially as of recent, Skullcandy Uproar Wireless. And I think this is especially important to this video. I am coming from these. I've been using these for over 2 years, and while they have served me well, they kind of suck. Although they are pretty nice for having like actual physical buttons that you can feel. Hold on, I actually have a second pair. Oh shit, my trash can. Here, on this second pair, which I actually use a lot more, you can actually see the buttons a lot better. They actually do have physical buttons, which is a pretty nice touch, but I don't know. I can't find any graphs on these, but I think in typical Skullcandy fashion, they have added bass and added treble. The top end on these is most likely very boosted. This is what I have most commonly used, and they don't do a lot of the stuff that this guy does. They don't have active noise canceling, they don't have as good Bluetooth pairing. Sometimes the volume buttons on these don't even work. There are a lot of features that these have that these are missing, especially with sound. So please, I beg of you, take everything that I say in this video with several heaping bowls of salt. So I actually stumbled upon these on artings.com. I was looking for a new pair of headphones to replace these things, and Artings actually rated these as some of the best budget Bluetooth headphones. You know, being 15, I don't have tons of money that I can spend, and bargain headphones that are apparently very good sounded very appealing to me. So on the day they came, I brought them up to my room, I put them on, and wow. I mean, that's pretty much all I can say to these. Just, wow, this is such an improvement over these. Let's start with build quality first of all. These are relatively durable. I've been using these for 2.5 years. Bit of the, like, ear pad start to fall off, but that's pretty much the only, like, real damage that these have sustained. And trust me, I haven't been handling these delicately. I've been tossing them around my bedroom, doing all kinds of weird shit with them, and they've held up very well, but they are not well made. They are very obviously cheap. Look at how fucking flimsy these are. Let me move these out of the way, actually. Plastic pretty much anywhere you can look. This cheap feeling, like, leathery sort of stuff on the headband and the ear cups. You know, it's cheaply made, and I think that's the point of them. If I bought these knowing that they are budget headphones, then I would not be surprised at all. These are budget headphones, and the sound they deliver is fine. It's completely livable. You can get these for like 35 bucks on Amazon. So in terms of build quality, what do you get for about $20 to $30 more? Well, very substantial upgrades. First of all, yes, this does still have a lot of plastic on it. Kind of creaky, obviously. Like, listen to that. But there's a lot more variety in material here. I do like the bronze accents here. I don't know exactly what material this is, but it feels very similar to metal. Pretty loud. The headband's pretty nice with this little cloth material right here. Kinda cheap feeling leather, but it's totally fine, and I actually find these to be pretty soft. This part of the back with the track controls, that's rubber. And oh yeah, you might think, oh, well, this is an area for touch. No, this has tons of controls on it. Like, look at all that. Oh my god. You got this little Bluetooth switch. Just switch it on there, and then you hold it up a little bit longer to switch it into pairing mode. This button right here, which switches between equalizer modes, we'll get to that later. Casual volume rockers, as I mentioned before, track controls, this painfully out-of-date port. These actually do come with this alright feeling aux cord. I mean, it serves its purpose, I guess. I haven't gotten the chance to use these in aux mode very much, but, you know, it's about the same experience. Overall, for 20 or 30 extra dollars, these are much more well made. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, that was the aux cord. And although cheap feeling in some areas, and cheap sounding definitely, it does manage to have a very nice look to it. And hey, you know, ear cups swivel a bit. That's a nice touch. Can lay them down flat on a desk, unlike, you know, this bullshit. This is also a lot better for transport, and when they're just resting on your neck and stuff like that. It's just a very nice touch, makes them a lot more comfortable. And oh yeah, the comfort. Although most people say these aren't too clampy, they tend to be a little bit clampy for me. I guess I just have to use them more to stretch out the headband a bit more. The headband is very nice though. I do like the support that it gives on the top of the head, but it's just, like, the ear cups are pretty soft, but they're also a little bit shallow. My ears press up against these a little bit, which is fine, but they just don't have as much give to them. They're a bit stiff. They don't have as much support. These obviously do not have as many concessions when it comes to comfort, but they're a lot lighter, and they don't clamp quite as much. You just gotta adjust these well enough, just gotta use it enough to stretch out the headband, or maybe just bend it a little, and these just sit on your ears. Although, the over-ear style of these is a lot better when compared to on top of ear, or whatever you want to call these. Overall, just because they were a bit heavier and they clamped a bit more, I found them to be a little bit less comfortable than these, but I probably just have to get used to them. Just gotta wait for that headband to stretch out. It's fine. The comfort most likely won't get in the way of your listening experience, and that's what I want to talk about next. Again, this was my first experience with active noise canceling. This was my first experience with any audio equipment that was over $50, aside from liberal soundtronic things, which I barely even use because I swear I cannot for the life of me get earbuds to like fit my head. My ears are just, I don't know, stupid. So please just keep all that in mind when I talk about these. These are the best sounding headphones I've ever experienced. Full stop. These are amazing. For the price especially. The active noise canceling is fine. I have yet to use them on the tractor that I used to mow the lawn, but you know, it keeps the fan noise that I keep in my room out of my ears, but it's fine. It'll do its job, especially when paired with such good sound. Again, haven't experienced active noise canceling up until this point, and it's incredible. No matter what environment I am in, whenever there's silence in a song, no background noise from any other sources of noise in my house or outside, just exactly as the artist intended it to be. Just complete silence. The active noise canceling does have a little bit of white noise in the background, but after what, oh shit. But after a while of using them, I barely even noticed it. My brain just sort of like tuned it out. The sound staging, even for closebacks, is a lot wider than these, I can confidently say. One song that I was using to test this, Colored Bars by Glass Beach, not the old one by Casio Dad. Jay's vocals are prominently in the right ear cup, and in some parts of the song, it legitimately felt like they were sitting right next to me. It was kind of freaky. The sound staging to me is amazing, but that's just because I haven't experienced any other sound staging. These do fine, but I'm sure that there is much better than this, especially with open back headphones. Before I talk about the actual sound though, I need to address this little button right here. This is an equalizer button, and it has two modes, balanced and bright. Balanced actually doesn't sound that balanced at all. Again, I have nothing to compare it to, but to me, they tend to sound pretty muddy, a lot more heavy on bass. I found that I actually preferred the bright version a lot more. It just gave that extra little bit of sparkle and detail to most of the tracks that I listen to. And I want to be clear, most of the tracks that I listen to are rock, punk rock, and I don't know, like just Glass Beach, Tally Hall, Origami Angel, fucking Queen, and that's it. And listen, the bright mode does not destroy the bass. There is definitely bass in the bright mode. It's just a lot more tastefully done. Ironically, to me, it feels a lot more balanced in the actual balanced mode. So most of my listening experience from these was using the bright mode. I like treble a lot more than bass, and I just find it to be a little bit extra detailed. So to talk about the sound, I'm gonna talk about my listening experience with a few of the songs that I listened to with these. Track number 1, Spoiled Little Brat by Underscores. It's got this like twisted, almost unstable vibe to it, all the while having these very rocky and like powerful verses. The beginning hook I also really like. You should take a picture, hope it'll last long. Like, I have that stuck in my head for days. This song does not have very much bass naturally, and out of these, using the bright mode, that definitely complemented it very well. Towards the end, there are some like little snippets which just have no instruments and just vocal. Those areas are completely silent except for the vocals, and it sounded a lot more impactful because it was a lot more quiet during those sections. And after it was done, the instruments just came back in like that, and it was just, it felt a lot more impactful. Next song, I'm gonna be using a lot of songs from this band, Dallas by Glass Beach. This song is the most ambient of ambient tracks that I've heard. I mean, for fuck's sake, I'm making an entire video essay with this song as the backing to it. I love this song. Using these, I kid you not, this was the best way I have ever listened to this song. There's so many parts of Dallas which have like little Foley sound effects, like cars driving by, people talking in the background. With these, especially coming from these, it felt like it was all around me. And not only that, but the sound effects were a lot more detailed as well. Oh yeah, and the actual musical parts of this track were excellent. There were certain sound effects and even entire instruments that I missed out on with these and heard with these. There was so much ambiance in this ambient track that I missed out on listening to them with these terrible fucking... And these right here, they delivered it all to me. Again, there's probably headphones that are much better than this. I know for a fact that there are, but like, God, especially for the price, these are incredible. And even if these were like $100, they'd still be good. They'd still be really good. The third track I listened to was Glass Beach. Not the band Glass Beach, the song Glass Beach. By Glass Beach on the first Glass Beach album. Tons and tons of hi-hat and ride and cymbal, like these really dirty snare hits. On this track, I felt like the bright setting on these was definitely a bit more overwhelming in terms of treble. I mean, it was fine, especially for the parts of the song that weren't as treble heavy, but in the chorus and the finales, when I turned on the balanced sound mode, I found that I was able to turn up the volume a lot more just because, you know, the treble wasn't all in your face. And that's where these really shine, just being able to switch between audio modes on the fly. I think that's a really cool feature. For that reason alone, these are able to play tons of genres. As for durability, I can't say about the long term, because I haven't had these for a very long time, but I mean, I live on the East Coast of the United States. It has been raining all week, and you know, I've been using an umbrella, but these still do get a little bit wet in the rain, and I've had no problems with them. You know, I think with most headphones, they can get a little wet. Believe me though, you probably won't want to be like tossing these around as much. Unlike these, of course. Overall, I found the sound to be excellent. I really like that you can switch between sound modes. The manual is kind of confusing. I actually switched between sound modes a few times on accident, but once I figured out what this button actually did, yeah, it was really cool. Also, just a quick tip, holding down the two volume buttons does turn off active noise canceling. It's also kind of weird though, because when you turn off active noise canceling, it also sometimes switches to balanced sound mode if you're on bright. Having the app for these is very useful and pretty much a requirement, but it's very jank. The actual settings did not update until I closed the app and then reopened it. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Very nice, I'm gonna leave that there. But overall, these deliver a very solid experience, especially for the price. If you're looking for your next set of wireless, like $60 headphones, right here they are. Great sound, alright comfort, very nice controls, very good looking and very well made. You can get these in different colors. I completely recommend these. If you're well versed in audio, you probably have plenty of stuff that's better than this, but if you're like me and you just play stuff out of your phone, this does great. Yeah, my camera is running out of recording space, so I'm gonna abruptly end this video. Thank you all for watching. I guess I wanted to try something a little bit different with this video. I made this video just because I really like these headphones and I wanted to, you know, talk about them for a little bit. And also because I just wanted to try something new. I'm not entirely sure if I'm gonna upload this on my main channel or my second channel. If you're seeing this on my second channel, then expect this type of content on here probably a bit more in the future. If you're seeing this on my main channel, then I probably just felt like, you know, I shouldn't focus on two channels at once and just decided to put everything on my main. And also because my second channel is a lot more for gaming. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about these. Thank you guys very much for watching. Have a nice day. Love you guys. See you guys. Goodbye.